Welcome, everybody. Got some more closed qualifier action on the European front. This is Group D, Kick versus Deathtrap. Yeah, the Spanish versus Turkey over here. I'm Laser Jesus, joined this time by Awesome Sauce. And I haven't casted this Deathtrap team. I mean, somebody told me that I had in the past, but I don't remember at all. I've seen Kick a lot, but we got a mid to A, and wow, they left the bomb behind. Interesting strat.
Now they're trying to bait these CTs out here on the A side here, Laser. Not really working out for them at this point, but the T's get control there of the cat area, and they're trying to get in sight. But look at this. Emic just takes him out, and it's all down to Gandhi in a 1v3. This is going to be hard for him to be able to do. I mean, he is going to have to move quickly here with 40 HP, and he is going to go down. So nice job there. Alex ends up getting it done, and they're going to win the round. It was just kind of a strange thing that they did going up cat like that, but it works out for him. Works out for Kick, and they counter it well. So
it was bizarre as they boost a bunch of people over. Maybe they were intending on boosting the bomb over with the rest. Was that you vaping or was it the producer? Either way, put the vape down, one of you two. But they left the bomb outside of the boost. And generally you don't want the bomb solo. Like if anybody pushes A main and wins the duel with the bomb, that changes the round like dramatically. But Deathtrap got the entries into the A bomb site, but then Eminek and company just held on. But for Deathtrap strat this time, we got 3 Deegs and 2 Tech 9s, and with how little utility that they have, I mean, they're just gonna play pick and roll.
Yeah, it's what they're trying to do at this point here. Nothing really going their way, but look at this. Alex comes in here. Kind of funny, that's my first name, so kind of weird saying that, but he gets in there into checkers. He's gonna put this down to a 5v4 early. That's good for them. Gandhi back with this Deeg. They get countered with that smoke. And yeah, so seems like right now Kick's got a pretty good start. We'll see if they can continue this going. As they're going to give up mid, and that's going to give Deathtrap a little bit of room to move outside into mid and make a nice play there.
Yeah, now into checkers. Alex spraying away with the MP7. He's got so many targets surrounding him now, but Moose and Bonnie has arrived. Then the trade is there by Mycock. So 2-on-2, the flank may be the difference maker. Oh, Mycock, I think he was spotted out by Eminek, but he still gets around to blue, but the flank just about to arrive.
Don comes in, does get a nice shot there. Gandhi on the site. Gonna fight. Does what he can, 2 HP. And goes down. So there's Kick, a nice retake. They have 2 survive. It works out pretty well for them, all in all. And they've got to be happy about this start. Really solid start for them. And we'll see if they can continue this momentum. You know, the T's are probably going to save here at this point, or, you know, maybe a pistol here and there, but I wouldn't expect anything too drastic. And we'll see if Kick can keep up this momentum. This is a good start for them.
Definitely. And there's no way I casted this Deathtrap team before, because I would remember a player named Gandhi. Maybe he's new or something like that, but Gandhi, it seems just like a paradoxical name, no? Or ironic would be a better word. Just Gandhi running around fragging out. Not what he's known for in real life anyways. More pistols bought up, and a heavier investment than I would have thought. It doesn't look like anybody's saving up for the op on the Deathtrap side. Is A main the target for Deathtrap thus far. A couple of the players left over there are quite wounded though, and I don't think Don's going to give up this A bomb site. So Deathtrap in these eco rounds, they like to open up with a slow pick and roll style, or it looks more like they're opening up with the default, but they're just looking for picks everywhere.
Yeah, that's what they're doing right now. Gandhi and Qualifier there. Oh, goes down. Look at that. So it's down to Gandhi again. 1v3. It's going to be hard for him to be able to do this with 13 HP and no armor, but let's have that Deeg. Oh, look at this. Oh, he goes down. So Alex gets it done. So yeah, nice 3-0 start for Kick, and they've got to have good confidence going into this now as the first gun round should come out now. And, you know, we'll see what they're able to do. Deathtrap, you know, they're playing a little bit back at this point. We'll see if they get more aggressive and maybe put Woxic up there at, you know, boost him up and see if he can get a pick or try to counter and something like that. But a good start for Kick. They have to be happy about this start so far.
And this is a big round for both squads. Kick hadn't saved enough weapons to be in a cozy economic spot. And Deathtrap, similar to their eco rounds, just very spread out approach, just trying to cover all fronts, make sure nobody pushes on through, but they do lose a member towards the B side from a push from Alex. And I think they're falling back and sitting on top of the advantage. No, Gibrix wants to continue to push forward outside of B. Quite dangerous. But he does have his teammate in the area still able to crossfire off of each other. But if this is Deathtrap's plan, and this is what they think their strength is just covering all areas of the map and just going for the spread out approach at the beginning of the round, that's something they have to avoid, is giving up that entry frag.
Yeah, going down and not getting a trade in this situation, you know, unfortunately, Woxic going down there, and he's got to be frustrated because they boosted up, double boost inside the B site, over into Toxic, ended up getting them taken care of, and so now they're down in a situation, but it looks like they're going to work towards A here, and they've thrown some stuff towards the mid area, and Mick here is going to have a little bit of a hard time to deal with this if they look, but I don't know if they're going to. They're taking their time because Sandy, nice fire in there. We'll see if they're able to come out. Are they going to check it, though? That's the question. I don't know. I don't think they're going to, actually. Here we go. Gets a first frag.
It's so hard to deal with that crossfire. That's crazy. From forklift and on top of the shroud spot, like, and there's a player inside of the bomb site. Deathtrap, upon giving, like, up that opening B player pick, like, their only real option was to commit onto that A bomb site. Like, going back and retaking B with all that map controls would be, like, really dangerous. Like, that forklift and shroud crossfire, they weren't too worried about highway because Don Q was ready for it inside of the bomb site, but I don't know how you deal with that.
I don't know how you deal with it either. I mean, look at the big picture. What they've been able to do at this point, set up good crossfires. Deathtrap's got a big issue on their hands right now as they're in this Tech 9 situation. They're going to work towards A, but yeah, if K keeps playing like this, they're gonna put a damper on anything that Deathtrap's trying to do. And I think Deathtrap, after this round, they need to really start coming together, maybe trying to do 2-3 man pushes and try to get entries, and maybe fall back off of that. But we'll see what they're going to do here right now. They're going to smoke the cross, and here they come. Next here is going to fire, counter fire, but look, goes for the spray down, gets one. Not a bad start for him as they're in the site. But there gets a frag there, and look at this. Oh, a trade comes in, and now it's a 3v3. They should be able to get the bomb down here, which is good. And oh, a nice peek there coming in from Sandy, so he gets a frag. Gibrix gets one as well. On the sausage here. Oh, he goes for the flick. Not going to happen. He goes down. So Musambi, nice shot by him. Gets it done. 5-0 start for them. How confident and happy should they be after that?
Pretty confident. I mean, you look at the scoreline, 5-0. Of course, you got to be confident with that. It's not one of those runaway halves where the scoreline is so big, but like neither team has a super big economy built up. Namely, Kick obviously winning so many rounds in a row. It's not like Deathtrap have dug themselves that big of a hole just yet. They could still potentially put Kick on a save at any point upon winning a round. Well, I suppose Musambani and Gibrix have 6 and 7K now. Maybe a problem. But does Deathtrap continue just to play this slow opening style where they try to cover everything at the beginning? Now it looks like they want to go a little quicker and turn this into a mid to B wrap. And this is a different pace on the gun round. We haven't seen them do it this quick just yet. And the setup of the B players, Musambani, wow, he's down to just 5 HP. Not sure how that happened. And he's actually alone inside the B bomb site. Gibrix will be his first rotator, and he's from vents. He's spotted out. I don't know how he gets out of this situation. Kick got to make a move here, otherwise the execute will be on.
Yeah, they're going to try to get into here. Deathtrap really wants to get into this B site. But right now, nobody's dead, and that's the most important thing. Musambani there, holding the angle at B, and look, the patience working out well. You know, we'll see if they're able to get in here. I mean, you can breathe on Musambani, and he's going to go down. There's Alex there, nice job. Over there on the mid area, gets a frag. And so that's going to give the T's an advantage here. I think that Musambani knows there's some players outside of B, so he throws the fire to counter. But they're taking their time. Deathtrap here at this point is saying, we're going to B, and we're not stopping. Here comes a split.
Oh, and the opening shot on Musambani. He was posted up with the AWP, but my Cox, it's him with 2. And I think now it's just a save for Kick. Maybe not after Don Q grabs that one, but smoke down towards CT. Just grab the op and get out of there with the amount of money that Kick has, as I noted earlier. Wait, are you seeing Don Q spam this? I didn't know that was spammable if it is. It's a big wall to shoot through. But with these 2 weapons, as long as Kick can save them, they'll have a good buy in the next round. And I think their economy is just at the point where it's not even worth it to go for exits.
We're going to see Kick here coming out, and we're going to just chill on the A site. Hopefully my mic sounds better now. I was, apparently my correct mic was not selected inside of voice program.
So it was you vaping then?
It was me vaping. Yes, it was.
I mean, I thought I had some other, like a YouTube video open or something. Like, why would somebody just be like randomly vaping in it? Yeah, it was one of the crackly ones too. Anyways.
Yeah, well, That's what happens when not the right mic is connected. So hopefully my voice does sound better now, as this is a way better mic. But regardless of that, forget about the mics and the vaping. Deathtrap gets their first round, and they have to be happy about it, Laser. I mean, now they need to start getting the ball rolling here. We'll see what they're able to do up at this point, but they've got to get somebody in here to make a play early. They can't be going down in these situations.
Musambani gonna get his revenge from the last round. This time he's over towards mid. Looks like the victim is getting boosted up. And wow, towards the B side now. Eminek and Gibrix. Wow, Kick is just aggressing on all fronts besides middle. They're pushing into A main. They're pushing outside of B, taking all the fights. And Deathtrap this gun round went back to that spread out opening. Kick, when Deathtrap opened up like that, seemed to have the advantage. So maybe Deathtrap T side from here on out just consists of pretty much straight up executes, or like early round plays where you're more balled up together. Because Kick, they're seeming to avoid getting traded, at least initially.
Yeah, it's definitely what they need to be doing. They need to be keeping aggressive and stuff and trying to work these picks. And, you know, it is what it is right now, but they're in a difficult spot right now. 2 people in A main, 2 people for Kick over there on the A side. Musambani, oh, he misses the first shot, though. Comes back for the no-scope. Not going to hit it. 45 seconds left. Cox here is going to be able to fire him out if he throws it correctly. Musambani is going to be in deep trouble. He's going to have to make a move. Peeks out, gets a shot anyway. He's running through 2 fires, and he ends up getting out alive.
That's crazy.
Goes down. So good job there by Musambani. I don't think anybody can say enough about that play.
Right. It's like the mother of dragons. I don't know how he didn't get burned. He just ran through like 2 fires. That's a big pickup for Kick, though. And Deathtrap, even though they won 1 round only after losing 5 in a row, they still had a bank behind them with surviving with a bunch of people. So this is a must-win round in my eyes for Deathtrap. If they lose this one, Kick likely goes up at least 8-1, and still with a lot of half yet to be played. Not necessarily insurmountable, but it's Musambani. He's been boosted up atop the smoke. I love that angle, and it should be revealed to Deathtrap that 2 players are at least here. I don't think they're even going to relinquish the angle. Yeah, they're getting suspiciously spamming through the smoke, and that's going to force Kick off at least out of mid for the time being.
Yeah, it's not a great start for Deathtrap early on in this, but at least they have a little bit of mid control. The problem is they don't have the players to trade into each site, so they need to have somebody making a play and getting something done. We got 2 people over there for Kick on the A side. 2-1-2, kind of a setup right here, working out well for Kick at this point as they forfeit the mid control, but they can cover off all these angles, and saving the utilities for later in the round. It seems like a pretty good thing for them to be able to do. They still have 3 incendiary grenades on the team total. Oh, and Sauceteer gets a headshot. Box. He's going to be
I'm
lower.
loving all your pronunciation of this guy's name. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly either. Sesukater? Sesukater? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm trying to make sure that I say it as right as I possibly can, but here we go into the side. There's Tricks here. Gets 1, 2. He wants to get a 3rd there, but it's going to be taken away from Don Q. That round's over, and Kick just playing very, very solid right now. They're not really giving up a lot of stuff, and we're going to see the pause coming out from Gandhi over here on Deathtrap side, and you know, probably a good idea at this point. T-side cash is certainly not the hardest T-side to play, and they've only got 1 round, so they need to try to bounce back into it. What do you think that they need to do overall? I mean, I personally feel they need to get in, try to work on some picks early in the rounds to set them up for a take, and they're losing these duels early, and I think that's what's hurting them.
It looked like their game plan to open up with, they were confident in the spread out opening play because they'd have 1 player watching a lot of positions, namely Squeaky or Sunshine area. When Kick aggresses those areas, they seem to be winning those duels. So the 1 round that Deathtrap ended up winning was intended on a mid to B split pretty early on into the round. And when they finally executed together, it seemed to work out decently well at that B bomb site. That last gun round tried to go with heavy mid aggression, more so than just boosting up that 1 player who potentially goes down to Musambani and then it's a 4-on-5. But this time they send everybody out mid, but Musambani is boosted up inside of the smoke. So I like the Deathtrap is trying to make that adjustment of going for like the more early balled up kind of play, but Kick just we're ready for it. Is it premonition or just luck of the draw, one or the other? But Musambani was there boosted up. So I don't think Deathtrap is necessarily making bad decisions here because they're trying different looks. It seems like they've realized what they're intending on doing at the beginning just isn't working anymore. But now they just lost that last round, which is going to put Kick up to 8. If Deathtrap want to buy in that next round, that buy isn't going to be the greatest. So it's a slippery slope, and it's a hard hole to fall into, because you don't have too many gun rounds left to try to make that right adjustment.
Absolutely. So I'm saying his name is Sask. I think I'm saying that right. So I'm gonna start calling him Sask. That's his nickname apparently. So we're gonna go ahead and go with that, and try to make sure we get his name the best we can. But yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. It makes perfect sense, and we'll see if Deathtrap's able to do something. You know, like I said, definitely not the worst scene, but here we go. They're ready and going back into this now. So we'll see if Deathtrap here in this eco, what they're able to do, and I would assume we're going to see something fast and together. But like you and I talked about a little bit yesterday, you and I share the same mentality on teams that just have the stock pistols playing back on CT side. Now on the T side, I'm glad to see that they bought up a little bit here. They do have a flash on Maycox here, and they do have the pistols, so we'll see if they'll all go together here, and I think we'd like to see that at this point.
Yeah, their buy next round is looking like AKs anyways, so this extra 300 is potentially keeping Kick's economy low. I kind of like it, and it may seem hypocritical if you've heard me cast before, but with this situation, if Deathtrap can just manage to get 2 or 3 kills and just try to keep that economy low, they could still rally off a decent half, but that is just not happening. Musambani, the only man who falls to the P250s of Deathtrap. The rest of the squad looking nice and healthy. No bomb plant for Deathtrap, and they wanted one of two things: either the bomb plant or at least a couple kills, and I don't think they're getting either.
No, it doesn't look like it. Gandhi and Calix here, trying to do something. They've got 1 frag. Want to get more. There's Don Q finally getting the job done there. And Calix here, he's gonna get 1. That's nice for him. Now he might be able to work in here. He's already got 2 on the round. Getting more is just icing on the cake at this point. Gets another.
Wow.
He goes
Don't
for it, gets
do it to
one.
him.
Oh no, could he do it? He's now on a 1v1 for the ace. He's gonna have to ace out with a dig. Calix here really wants to make this work.
How does he do it?
I don't know, but he's not looking at the right angle, and hopefully he doesn't peek out. G-Bricks here, waiting for him, hearing some noise, and I think he might be making his way towards the B side, or he might come back, but this is really hard for him to know what to do at this point.
Both players.
Yeah, so back towards the A side. Rick should hear this. Comes the duel here in just a second. Bucks here playing as smart as he can possibly. Goes down. Oh, you just almost pull for him in that moment. Goes down, though, but he did more than enough for his team, and at least keeping the economy a little bit more fragile for them, but they already have so much money built up, it just really didn't matter as much, but still 4 is better than 0.
I think it did matter quite a bit, because now if Deathtrap can win this round with all those kills, we see Eminik, Don Q, and Alex drop below 1,400. Right. So the next buy that'll come out if Kick lose this round, I mean, will be a very dangerous one, and Deathtrap could get this comeback going, but so much hinges on this one round. And so far, they've already been boosted out mid. The flank is on its way, but Deathtrap just got to go into A. They only have 1 person to deal with, and the longer they wait, the more time the flank has to arrive. But Eminik is doing big things. They have to bring this man down. They will. 3-on-3.
Eminik, a nice hold there for him. Does go down, but 2 up front is going to give them a chance here in this round. Musambani, a pistol headshot, follows it up with an op. That's now the Wasik here in the sight in a 1v3. He's got a tall task ahead of him. CT's converging on all of his positions. Goes down through the box. Musambani, 3K on the round, and gets it done. 9-1 scoreline. A lot of credit to Kick right now.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much it, at least for Deathtrap to have an easier chance to maybe bust the economy of Kick. I don't think they're going to be granted that chance again. Well, maybe. They're still just going to have to win 2 in a row at this point. Doesn't look the same now for the Kick economy. And what a performance on Cash. I assume, since the starting sides are what they are, that this is Kick's map. Oh, actually, scratch that. I guess Deathtrap wanted the T side to start. Anyways, behold the behold. Or not. Wow. The spook. He's going to go with 2, but eventually traded off with the bomb that has been taken. Don Q doesn't wait for his teammate. He just wants to go into checkers quickly, which puts Eminik in a doable position, but he can't bring down Gandhi, and that is the second for Deathtrap. But this next round, I mean, this is another situation where it's pretty much it for them. It's a must win.
Yeah, really good job from Deathtrap, and now they need to get it right here. They need to make this work. They need to find a way to get it done, and Nice job there by Suk to get that frag and make this thing potentially work out for them. They need to get this round to make this a competitive half. You know, they need at least 5. I would say if they could get 6, it'd be good at this point, but they're going to have to win out. And it could happen. We'll wait and see what they're able to do right now as Suk trying to work his way to the B main area. He's going to get flashed by his teammate to get out. No real contention there at this point. But, you know, nice round by Deathtrap. Really aggressive stuff together. And see what they're able to do here on this B site. So Suk trying to fight Alex. But look, D-Briggs comes out. Gets one, gets another one. So a nice individual play from D-Briggs is going to put Deathtrap down on a 3v4 with nothing at B right now.
Yeah, nothing at all. See how they approach this. They got Calyx. He's been quite silent, creeping into the A main. The rest of Deathtrap are waiting at mid, hoping that somebody will give him a fight. Musambani does peek out mid, and Gandhi catches a glimpse of him. And we will see the duel. No, Musambani just going to fall off, relinquish that mid area. But Calyx, he's been so patient towards the A side. And now just down Q inside of A. But Calyx seemed to be suspicious that another player is at Fork, and he's right.
Gonna have to wait here and be patient. Actually gives up the position. He's gonna go ahead and fight Musambani. He does. Goes for the spray onto Don. Been hiding there for quite a while. Don trying to fight inside of the site. 2v2 post plant. G-Bricks coming in late on the rotation to A main. And he does have a little bit of HP to be able to handle this. Gets the first one. Now Maycock's here. Goes for the spray. Gets it done. So he gets it done. And 3-9 the score line. Obviously, Kick winning right now, but Deathtrap, that's huge for them. They get the op as well. You know, definitely a little bit of traction for them as they've got to be happy.
Don Q played that so well. He dinked both of the players. Both of those Ts had 100 HP to start that 2v2. Don Q dinks both of them, but his teammate just couldn't finish off that last kill. Good job by Mycox. Definitely love his name. 3 towards A for Kick, and they have plans of aggression. Interesting smoke into A main. How far do they go here? I don't think Deathtrap's ready for this. This is a new look coming out from Kick. We haven't seen them push this far down. If they were to push any further, Deathtrap, I guess they are ready. They've gone back to the more spread out style. Not as forward towards the A side and a lot more pressure towards B, but it's not like they're as balled up and going for any sort of quick execute. As another round where, you know, they open up, spread out, and they lose the opening duel. That's been a recurring theme throughout this map.
Oh, absolutely. But the Kick really doing well at this point. Up in a 5v3. They got to be happy about this. But stretched on the HP for some of these players, but the numbers are worth it at this point as they do have players deep inside of Squeaky. Alex is definitely aware of this, trying to peek, crouch peek, and kind of doing this bobblehead kind of a thing, trying to peek out. At this point, Gandhi gets a frag. Nice job from him. If they're able to get some traction over here at this A site with some of these players low on this HP.
So Gibrix, he's falling back into the B bomb site. He was hanging about at checkers, which I was worried. Oh, Alex, he tries to peek towards the fence, but he'll go down to Gandhi, which leaves Gibrix all alone. I'm glad he fell back into the bomb site. At least give him some more coverage, but he has to avoid getting entry'd. And Gandhi will get it done. So Deathtrap, I mean, if they can get 5 or 6, it's doable, but I mean, Kick is not going to be bad on the T side at all. And, you know, I'd call this recently a T-sided map even.
Bonnie in a 1v3. Going to go ahead and run away. Want to clarify, it's Sasuke. Want to apologize for the mispronunciation, and definitely got it right now, Sasuke. But look at this, Deathtrap 4-9 right now. They have to be excited about this. You know, it was 1-9, and now it's 4-9, and they've got Kick in a situation where they're going to save to probably play this last round. So the 5 rounds are doable now, and potentially 6. So this is a good job to try to salvage this half, and they're playing a little bit better together. I feel like they got some confidence under them now to be able to try to keep something going, and we'll see what happens at this point. Is they're going to try to probably boost some players up at mid. Alex is going to peek mid as well. Look at this, gets a nice shot onto Don Q, so that's going to open things up a little bit for Deathtrap.
Yeah, they finally put Kick on the save. But that last round started out bad for Deathtrap, and they still made it work. Now, is that due to Kick peeking a little bit too much? Maybe Alex at middle doesn't want to take that fight. Maybe just play a little more soft onto mid. I guess it was a nutty shot, but when you're in a 5-on-4 advantage and then you somehow lose the round with your opponents still surviving with 3. Like you made some mistakes somewhere along the line. As Sasuke, is that what we're calling him now? That's the correct one, right?
Sasuke. Yes.
Sasuke. It's gonna get butchered throughout the day. I'm sorry, guys. I'll get there sometime. Sasuke, giving me some practice, runs into the site, and that's it. Deathtrap with 5, and what a turnaround. At least they've given themselves a shot.
Yes, more than enough. And Sasuke and all these players here on Deathtrap have to be happy. You know, they've come back into it. It seems like them working together more at this point. They're not taking one-on-one aim duels. They're working together. You know, I guess the Opera is taking a little bit. You know, Calyx taking a few aim duels and stuff like that. But really, just the teamwork and stuff's coming together for him a little bit. We'll see what's going to happen here. There's Calyx there. Nice shot. Goes through the fire. Musambani's down. Been a really impact player for them so far in this first half. Oh no, Deathtrap gets a frag. It's traded out on the B site. And Deathtrap up in a good spot here. Calyx goes down though, misses the op shot. Gandhi trying to fight it mid with the bomb going down on the B site. This is looking favorable for Deathtrap. They could make this a 6-9 half.
Alex getting the peek he wanted from Mycox in the back of the site. I don't think that peek is going to be repeated. He's going to put some impetus on Eminek to make the first move. He's got to open up some room for that op to work. Going to flash himself out of CT spawn and bait. I guess he was hoping that somebody else was on the other side of the smoke close to him, but they're running out of time here. We gotta go now. Gandhi from the checkers. Alex jumps off the top rope, but that's it. 6 for Deathtrap, and after 9-1, that's amazing.
Yep, they got to be really excited about that. Coming in this pistol round, you know, they win pistol, they're definitely for sure in it. They're already in it now, but, you know, they've got to be happy about that. You know, a bit different taste in your mouth, you know, if it was like a 4-11 half or anything like that, but 6 rounds you can definitely more than work with. What they're able to do is they chose T side and it ends up working out for them in the end. So.
Wow, now I'm getting told by another reputable source that it's not Suzuki and it's Sask. I don't know. I'm going to go with Suzuki, give myself an extra syllable in there. But it's good to be back here on Twitch, here at RGN. If you haven't given us a follow here on Twitch or on Twitter yet, I would strongly advise you to do so. Maybe advise is the wrong word, but I'd like you to do so. Show us some love. We are back on Twitch, and once again, I am excited about it. Oh, Deathtrap. We'll see what they have to offer on the CC side. I kick. I've seen them play a couple of different styles. Like I can remember back to maybe a year. The roster hasn't changed all that much. I think. Well, where is Soaker? So, I mean, I recognize a core 3 of their roster, and I've seen a couple of ways they could play Cash on the T side, but I'm entirely in the dark with Deathtrap on CT.
No, I am as well. We'll see what they're able to do here and what kind of attack that they're going to use. Are they going to be pushing aggressive, or excuse me, or are they going to be playing back? So here we go. Pick first Deathtrap here. Best of 3 right now on Cash. We'll see if they're able to get a nice start.
Sasuke. So I'm gonna get this right. I will do it. Okay. That's what I'm going with. It has been settled. Kick. They're gonna go with the A split. Very heavy. They're making some noise in A main, but nobody close enough of Deathtrap to really hear this and preempt or rotate. So the only player it's in A, unless he can get a couple of lucky shots through the smokes that'll be out onto A, is just gonna be a straight up retake scenario.
So yeah, the A retake, yeah. Like you were saying, Musambani here throwing an A to try to counter that truck flank. It's a 5v5 retake. Cash, T side. See what they're able to do here. The Brinks here just switching around from that burst mode, coming back into it. We'll see if he's able to do anything there. There's 3 players close, and he's not aware of that quite yet, though. Gets a nice frag. Qualifier actually takes him out. We'll see if they're able to do it. They stick to defuse coming in there. And it's not working right now. He's still alive, but he gets the defuse right after he dies. Right before, rather.
That was gruesome.
What is going on?
I hope we got that on X-ray, because he shanked the sight boxes, and then he was like shanking them, like slicing them right in the throat back to back while he's defusing. What a hero to go out like that, and he got lost in the smoke. I don't mind the play from Alex, but you gotta line it up correctly when you're gonna go for that knife. Obviously, an advantage to it, you don't get any like muzzle flash, so his teammates have a harder time protecting him when he's defusing. But crazy play to end the round, and almost by kick in the end there. Deathtrap really wanted that pistol, so gonna negate some of the round count advantage as the buy comes out from Kick, kind of the VP coin style where they'll buy up 2 of their players and rock the rest out with pistols. They do trade off 1 at the B bomb site. Problem is they're down numbers, and there's still good utility for the retake.
Yeah, they're going to try to get in here. We'll see if they're able to do it in a 4v3. Definitely have the numbers. Alex only 6 HP. See if they're able to get in here. Goes for it. Nice flick there. Coming in there from that Dookie. Nice job from him. The spray coming in here from G-Breaks here. He's making this doable. 19 HP in the site. Oh no, the fire comes in. He's going to go down. That's a good retake there by Deathtrap. So it's going to be 8 for them. Come right back. And continue to keep pushing. You know, it was 1-9 at one point, so now it's 8-9. They have to be very happy with how they've been doing at this point. And money situation is going to look okay for them. Not amazing, but okay enough to where they're going to be able to do decently on a buy. Whereas Kick really is not going to have a ton of cash.
Yeah, the story this round is just, can Kick do enough damage to keep Deathtrap's economy at a potential reset point, which is what you want after losing pistol. You want to use those 2 eco rounds to keep that economy low of your opponents. Then the other side of the coin is you want to invest as little as possible to maximize your chances of keeping your opponent's economy low, and anything you buy, can cut into utility. Counter-Strike 101. Kick. So they will go back to A eventually. They do show a little presence towards the B side. But the way they're playing this, it's almost like they're set up for an anti-eco with how passive they're being.
Yeah, pretty passive from them. And Kick really not doing anything too crazy at this point. Spread out with some P250s and Tech 9-2 Deagles. Looking for something, some kind of info, but there was a nice flash there. He's going to go ahead and take this fight and wins it. So it's going to put him in a 5v4. They already have the gun advantage. Now the main advantage going their way. And Kick, they've lost 7 in a row, including that last half. And for them to be up 9-1, they've got to be frustrated at this point. But it's not totally out of their hands yet. And after this round, Musabani's going to peek out and go for this frag. Big not going to happen, but Kick just being very patient over here at this A side, not really committing.
They're waiting still. They just want to wait for that fire. But I don't know how they get in here without any flashbangs or anything. They need to either hit some crazy entry shots, namely with that Deag, or they're just going to get ruined by this crossfire. Gandhi spotted out by NBK, but he's got his teammate inside of the bomb site. I'd be really surprised if Kick did much, if anything. And wow, a true flawless victory. Not a single point of damage. And Kick set up like that. If you're going to spread out with just upgraded pistols and you don't have any utility for later on to the round, it can get kind of sketchy like that, where if you lose a player or 2, you're like, what do? We just have upgraded pistols and we have no control.
Oh, none. Oh, it looks like K1CK.ES here is trying to... There, he finds it from us. Now he's going to take off and try to run. We're going to see Kick here, working towards this A site, taking their time. In what they're able to do at this point. But Kick, they've lost 8 in a row. Getting countered out of their vents and not really able to boost up quite yet. So working the utilities well is Kick, and here they go onto the safe site. Dookie here is going to have to fight. He gets one, but goes down. And now the CTs are in a 3v4. Should be a post-plant position. They're going to plant inside default. We'll see if Mix here are going to be able to do anything as the fire comes in. He's going to flash himself out and try to make a move. Dominic here. Players converging all around him. You have this 4v3 situation, so they can afford to lose a player and not exactly lose at all.
Gotta say, the Molotov placement hasn't been the greatest for Deathtrap. They are still staying alive with 2. Musabani's just gonna let all of his teammates fall and go for the diffuser, but it's not even planted for him. But still taking the fight is Deathtrap. Okay, they do secure the trade with just enough time left to get that defused, but they had 3 incendiaries for the retake, and they had 1 player deficit, but I thought those incendiaries would make up for that, but they didn't really change the round much. Nobody was flushed out of a position that resulted in a kill for Deathtrap, but they still managed to make it work.
Yes, they did, and now they've won 9 in a row, and I can't underscore that enough. You know, it was a 3v4 retake. They get it done. They get in there, and they're able to get it to the point where they feel very happy right now. And we've got AKs coming out, straight AKs from Kick. Qualifier over here on this B site with this op on the corner is going to get smoked out, going to counter it with a move into Squeaky. So we'll see if they're able to do something here. He's in a good spot, not typically a spot you would see an opper, but he's playing around the smoke, and now they're going to spot him after that flash, and he's going to have to run away.
One of the problems can be escaping from that position, but he is allowed to get out. Kick, are they going to go for the boost into vents from B? We've seen some teams do this, but transferring it into a commitment onto the other bomb site quickly can be hard to do smoothly, but Kick making it happen. K1CK.ES gets caught out at mid-peak in the Z area, so at this big of a deficit, it's hard for Deathtrap to really come back. K1CK.ES have a lot of time left. They don't have to commit anytime soon. Deathtrap, they have a lot of impetus to go for a frag just to try to negate some of that player advantage that K1CK.ES currently has, but by doing so, well, you could just donate them another frag, and there it is.
Good round coming out here from Kick. Got to be happy with the performance so far at this point. Oh, wow. Wasik there, a nice frag there through the box. Gets another one. Can he continue to do more?
This guy is unreal.
Oh, he goes for the no-scope, I think. It didn't really end up for him, but 10-10, making it possible. And most importantly, if they lose, you know, if Kick's in a bad spot, you know, and they lose this round, they're going to be broke. And so, actually, him getting those frags was important anyway.
Oh yeah, keep that economy low, and those first two shots, like back to back. I don't know how he did them, just one after the other, and shots that are really random to hit, and he just like lined them up off the walls after just catching a glimpse of the shadow. Really nice stuff out of K1CK.ES. Haven't seen him use that AWP much, and now Deathtrap just trying to do some more eco damage. Q has 2 to deal with, Suki as well as KC.ES. No problem thus far. Deathtrap would really like to get at least 2 of these weapons down. On top of what they got done last time, they could still keep that economy within arm's length of Kick. And there's one. Q quite wounded inside of the Squeaky. I mean, if Deathtrap get more than 2 kills, Kick's economy is going to be in bad shape next round.
Yeah, but they're going over here. Looking at Lusambani, booking it over to the B site. Now to K1CK.ES here on the A site, alone for Deathtrap in a 1v4. He's got a couple players he can kill. Bricks knows where he is, I think. He's going to hit him with 1, and he's going to go down. So, K1CK.ES dies, 4 survive for Kick. And they've won 2 in a row at this point. They want to get back into this. You know, they were up 9-1. A big push from Deathtrap. Going to see a buy coming in here for Deathtrap as well. They are going to buy some FAMAS, an M45, some M4s and an op. So not a horrible buy for them. Not ideal, though. K1CK.ES class cannon. He's probably going to go for something aggressive. Do what Kick's got for us.
He doesn't go aggressive. He goes into the B bomb site, and he's alone with the yacht. Yeah, he's got KC.ES inside of the vents, but if he goes down cleanly, this round is just so broken. But it's one, trying to line up a second one, but him and his teammate both fall. Not the greatest of positioning there out from KC.ES and K1CK.ES, but now it's Suzuki. He's arrived to try to come out of the vents. He's already made his way out outside of the checkers, but everybody's getting flanked. Still no bomb plant, though, and the CTs are already on the scene.
They're hanging out there, trying to get this thing done. 4 HP for Q. Counter nade comes out from him. He's got 4 HP, and that's not a lot to work with, but he does have the AK. Players over here inside a tree, waiting for him to make a move. Don, he's going to go ahead and shift walk out of there, run away. I wonder when Deathtrap's going to know. Do you think they're going to get tipped off here in a second?
It's difficult because there's a couple ways to play it when you're in the 1v2. Do you play 1-1 and give him potential 1 versus 1s in exchange for having already been inside of the bomb site? Or do you just give up the one of the bomb sites and play retake and try to guarantee the trade? That's the plan so far for Deathtrap, but Q, he's getting tricky. K1CK.ES is so low, he falls off the head. Q, this would be amazing, but no. 11-11, K1CK.ES barely survived. Very fortunate that that box was there because he only had 12.
Yeah, ends up getting it done. 11 all right now. Deathtrap winning around, taking a little bit of that momentum back. You know, this is a close game. You know, not the way that it looked like it was going to end up being, but Deathtrap really showing a lot of resiliency and not giving up at this point, which obviously we would expect them to not give up, but they were down 9-1. And mind you, that's a hard thing to come back from, but they have done it at this point. Now have it 11-all with all of K1CK over on the A side of the map. There's Suzuki, Maycox, and Wasik pushing through B. They know something's going on now. Now they're going to get ready for either mid or A.
This is a very important round. Both teams' economy so low, and now it's Deathtrap getting the opening frags on their CT side. Donq's trying to creep up. There's nobody at the fork. He doesn't know that, though. Can't hit the opening shot onto K1CK, who's gotten 2 with the FAMAS. Sure, he'd love to snag that AK in just a moment here, but K1CK's mid control just doesn't work out for them. Deathtrap, namely K1CK's hitting all the shots, and now they're going to re-aggress onto Eminic. It's all K1CK this round. Does a lot of damage onto Eminic, finally brings him down. Musambani elsewhere with 1. So K1CK still in this, but at a 1-man deficit.
Yeah, definitely Deathtrap has the advantage here. They're spread out 1-1-1. A little bit shift over towards the A site. Playing for the info, so that's good that they're doing that. We'll see what's going to happen. Wasik's alone on this B side, but 37 seconds left. K1CK does have time, and they do have the ability to do something, and I think they're going to try to work towards this B split. And if that is the case, Musambani's going to have to either get killed, Jibrik's going to have to trade, or they're just going to have to go in and be fast. Here they go. They're going to come in. Wasik's in a bad spot. He knows now what's happening. He's going to go ahead, peek out, the shot, gets 1, but Musambani gets him. Look at this guy. 19 HP, gets 2. He is going to go down. Gandhi on that flank gets it done. So good round from Deathtrap, 12-11.
Musambani heard him too. I'm sure his heart sank once he heard the checkers drop. He still had his knife out and everything. And what a round to pick up for Deathtrap. You know K1CK is not going to be buying this round. Well, it is a forced Bible situation for K1CK, definitely. I shouldn't say that at all. But I think K1CK will save up for the AKs coming up here. But with how low Deathtrap economy is, you can easily argue for a forced buy. Like, this is the scenario you'd like to go against. And going towards B, 3 or more kills is the goal. And maybe even a bomb plan on top of it, but Maycox as well as K1CK. They like this crossfire between checkers and the headshot area.
Trying to do well. Look, this block kill from Alex goes down though. Blocks trying to get in this B site, able to get some frags and move in there. Jibrik's is going to scoop up his AK-47 that he found and plant for B main with 22 HP and no armor. In fact, no armor for any of these players on the T side. Oh, look at Suzuki, comes in with the ump, gets 1. He's going to fall back a little bit.
Oh, they don't know. Advantage. Oh my god.
Oh, they don't know, do they? Oh no.
They did.
Oh.
Who checked it? Gandhi. What a teammate. But it's Jibrik's inside of the bomb site. He's flushed out. K1CK able to secure the round, but that got really wonky in the end. Donq goes to boost his teammate up, fails the jump, gives away to the CT that somebody is outside of checkers, or inside of checkers, I should say, and then the 2 CTs run right over Donq's head. And if Gandhi doesn't check that, that's the round.
Yeah, I mean, very, very much so. I mean, you don't typically see 2 people playing that close like that. But it ended up not working out, though. Good attempt, though. And yes, like you said, Gandhi on the check. Good call for him. So, funny. No team has really an economy going back and forth a little bit in this half. Deathtrap obviously pulling away at this point. We'll see if they're able to win this gun round and really put a hurt down. As nobody towards the B site for K1CK. And, you know, K1CK, again, playing very aggressive at the B site, trying to get as much info as he can, and now he knows they're at least not in B main or inside of Toxic, and that's going to give him a little bit of information to tell his teammates. Suzuki goes for the shot, gets 1 coming out of Squeaky, goes for another one, gets 2! He gets, oh no, that's K1CK that got the 3rd one, so nice job on this A-hold coming out on Suzuki. 3 kills on the A site, really making this thing possible. But Musambani with this up, we've seen in this map, he has the ability to end this, continue this movement.
This would be monstrous for K1CK to pick up. Deathtrap's economy, you pointed it out earlier, so low, so vulnerable, and Musambani jumps up, spots K1CK. Is he going to peek towards CT again? How did that miss? Must have been aim punch or something, but Mycox, he's not going to re-peek it. He might give Musambani time to make a move, but they've lined up the trade. Woxic would have been able to trade off that, even if Musambani got the shot off in theory. The 14 for Deathtrap. Moving on to a round where Kick's going to buy, but it's not going to be the greatest.
No, it's not. And Deathtrap, it's a really solid job from them to come back into this. A lot of admiration for Musambani trying to make that work, but, you know, Deathtrap really just being dominant, you know, as of late. I mean, they come back, they've got 13 rounds of the past 15, and they have to be happy about that, as they're in a position to take this away, at least this first map. There's WOSIC again with that B main
There he
play.
goes.
Gets 1, 2. He wants to get a third, not going to happen. Counter nade coming in from Maycox. He's going to get damage in. Not a frag yet.
He's trying. All right, finally gets one. Now Calix, and Alex now alone. He's in the back of the checkers too. Surely doomed in just a moment here. The vent sky is not peeking. This gives Alex time to make a move onto Calix, but Gandhi, he's been mint on the trades. Always winning these one-on-ones just due to positioning, as Deathtrap will get 15. But I was going to say at the beginning of the round too, it's similar. The way, like, Kick is getting a ton of kills on all these rounds. The rounds have been close, and Deathtrap's economy has been at a low point and on this 5-round spree the entire time. So it's, if Kick can just win a round, then their score will blossom. But Deathtrap, they're able to make it work with little money in reserve.
Deathtrap really just playing well. You know, they come back from, like I've said, pretty much the entire map. This aggressive push coming in here. Don Q's going to punish Gandhi for trying to get aggressive inside of Squeaky. Got to be a good frag for Kick and a little bit of a confidence booster for them as trying to work towards this A site. It appears so. Look at WOSIC again, the aggressive B play, and I don't think they've accounted for this. It's going to help the CTs know, even though they are down in a 4v5, this is going to help them have a lot of info. This might make up for the man advantage, depending on how they play it.
Exactly. Eminek's still going to be on flank duty, but the long route being employed by Woxic, which is going to eventually find Eminek near mid. It looks like they will miss each other, so the flank is still on. Eminek, he didn't hear him. Woxic, he's in the back. Probably not the right gun for this situation. What is that? Musambani just switches positions with him? That was a crazy juke for Musambani. I don't know how he did that. Just getting around Woxic's screen. Woxic didn't have a chance there, and the quick rotation now from Quick. And Eminek, he called for the rotate, and he just had no idea that Woxic was there. I think if Woxic had a cult, he'd probably secure those kills.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you on that, and you know, he's been so aggressive over there, and it's worked out for him that time. Not amazingly ideal, but got one. Tox here. Is he going to check inside of that toxic area? I don't know if he's going to. He's not. Alex makes it pay. Now it's down to Calix. He's going to start it off, go well. Gets one, but he's going to go down. Kick not done yet.
Look at that money of Deathtrap too. This is a double save for them. It's just, it was so close this entire time for Kick. It looked like Deathtrap, okay, they're running away with it. They're running away with it. But if Kick at any point wins a round when they're keeping that economy so low of Deathtrap, the round count doesn't seem like there's that big of a margin, if you understand that. Because now Deathtrap, they got a double save. So really, Deathtrap have one gun round to win to avoid overtime. It's going to be 14-15 before Deathtrap can even get guns on the board again.
Yeah, Deathtrap here is in dire straits right now as far as their money, like you said. And I think that they need to be careful, you know, how they play this, especially with stock pistols. You'd like to see more of a stack. They do have 3 at mid, which is better than 0. But that being said, see what they're able to do out of it. As WOSIC again going through, be aggressive, and it just seems to be a very similar theme. He's probably going to pay for it. I think.
He still wants to fight.
Song.
That's crazy. He wants that fight at that range with the USP versus AK. That's confidence or craziness, one or the other.
Probably a little bit of both, honestly. I mean,
right. That's what you need. That duality aspect as a Counter-Strike player. Can't be afraid to make those kind of plays, but also have to be able to leash yourself when the time is right. But I'm hoping that Deathtrap don't buy in this next round, because it's going to be tempting, because they will have enough to go for FAMAS and armor, but like nothing else at all. And that'll make the final round, if it gets to 14-15 like that, really bad for Deathtrap. So I hope that they just save in this next round and try to get it done with a full buy in the last round.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Couldn't have said it any better. Right now, Deathtrap playing outside of the smoke and stuff there in tray room. Doc's about to be spotted by Don. Don's going to get him, and yeah, it's just, I agree. I think that they should save. I don't know if they will, but time will tell here in just a moment. Is Alex going to try to go in there and... No, he's not going to. I thought he was trying to go in there and sneak and do something with the Ninja, but he's going to get a frag there onto Alex, so that's going to make those T's over there at B main a little bit concerned, maybe, because they're going to kind of continue to peek, but now they're going to all run.
Very diligent play from Gibrix there. He could have easily just went for the stat pad and gone for those 2 eco kills outside of the B bomb site, but instead he just falls back to his teammates and doesn't potentially give an AK over to Deathtrap. So I think this is the right move for Deathtrap. You're going to have 3 rounds loss bonus. You can afford to upgrade some pistols, but on cash, I really favor them just getting like a full utility buy, even though their incendiaries look not the greatest upon retaking A. So if they could make use of them, they could just have enough money to do so in this next one. Kick lined up outside of B. Qualifier, he's been pushing out pretty much every round, so probably the right read from Kick here to have the firing squad ready if Qualifier wants to push out any further. Just nice and balled up. 3-2 split, or full house style play, but how they don't check it, moves the body onto Eminic, his teammate. They do get the rest, though. But 1 player to beat in B, and still dangerous pistols on board, though.
Yeah, Suzuki with that Deagle armor. Alex, they're inside the B site with that CZ and armor, you know, I mean, definitely dangerous. If they come up close, he could really put a hurt on him. But, yeah, Eminic goes down to the TK. It is what it is. I mean, you really have to at that point to kill that player because it wasn't going to die unless he did it, it looked like. So here they go. Calix knows some smoke's out, but not hearing a lot of noise, so he's probably not going to call the rotate yet. Tall tale sign will happen when he's ready.
I just can't highlight enough, like, Deathtrap. It's so good that they just didn't buy this round, because now they'll have one last chance to get it done with real guns, instead of like a round where they'd have like FAMAS and armor, and then they'd have a chance to end it on a round like this, where they only had PT-50s or upgraded pistols and such. So I think the way they approach this definitely maximizes their chances after Kick won that round that broke the Deathtrap economy. It's all coming down to the next round. I shouldn't count out Suzuki, though. Does have the Deeg. Don't read the name. It's PG-13. No, maybe even rated R. I can't tell anymore. Usambani. Nice little whack-a-mole shot. And one last chance to end it. Is Qualifier going to continue to push outside of B? I mean, Kick are ready for this. Do they just keep going for this A execute that Deathtrap has been struggling to stop? I mean, I might even just take a pause here if I'm Kick.
Well, I agree. I think Qualifier is going to play aggressive at B. I mean, he seems to do that every single time. He doesn't let up very much, and he's pushing in there. And we'll see if he's going to continue to do it. And look, he's going to go jump out of heaven. He's going to go ahead and try to go up close on B again and cover that angle. But Kick has a whole other idea. They're not going to even make it available for Qualifier to get the frag at B. They're just over at A. Here they go. They're already out. They're out.
Gandhi does return fire, but he's quickly traded off by Eminic, and he was the only A-side player. The rotation heavily coming from Highway, 1 player CT. So nobody on the flank, no incendiaries for this. This would change the round dramatically if Deathtrap had just had a few of those, flush out that flawed position. And still trying to retake on in. The smoke's still up. It's going to take a while for the sight one to dissipate, but my cock's onto Alex towards the forklift. 2 of the Kick members stuck in the back of quad, highly flashable. We'll see how Deathtrap approach it. Eminic, he's able to get 2, but his teammate falls in the meantime. Alex coming around for the trade, and I think they just have enough time. And Deathtrap going to take it 16-14. It all came down to the last round. So close. What a match.
A really solid game for both teams. A lot of admiration for Deathtrap coming back and making this really a game after they were down by 8 points. At one point, Kick was up 9-1. But it is what it is. They get it done. They showed the resiliency. The B stuff, the pushing from Qualifier wasn't really punished that much. And it ended up working out for them most of the time, so they could tell what was going on at the A side when Kick tried to push on the T side on A. And most of the time it worked out for them. So good job, 16-14. And now we're heading on to Dust 2, Map 2 of this best of 3.
Dust 2 it will be. I think Kick just didn't make as good of adjustments as the Turkish team did. So I think that's really what it boiled down to. But in the end, I mean, they took into the A bomb site and went 1-for-1. So on that 4v4 retake scenario, obviously that can go either way. But I want to direct everybody over to skinsanity.gg if you haven't checked it out yet. It's an interesting platform, fresh idea. If you like to, it's not even gambling too. It's 100% legal. You purchase GG points, you put your skins in, or you can use G2A Pay, a couple of different options in which you can get GG points to bet on these items. We're on the site right now, I'm sure, and we see us betting on the StatTrak M4A1S Atomic Alloy, and there's 5 seconds left. We're in a bidding war right now, so it's kind of hype. Doesn't happen often when we're streaming it. Maybe we could just win it, but we got a couple of different bidders. But the current, it's worth $22.70. You see the current price is $1.84. So if you get it for that price, you can save like up to 99%. And that's just what makes the site so crazy.
Yeah, the site really looks nice, and the functionality is really easy. You know, I really can't say anything negative about this site. I mean, there's really no drawbacks. Everything's really easy. You see the counters. You know, you can start bidding. Some of the bids are 50. You know, some of them are 10. And so you can just bid and continue to see how well you can do and save big. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to try this. I mean, this is a unique idea, you know, especially in the CSGO scene. I'm really glad to see SkinSanityGG taking it home.
Yeah, it's just a fresh look. Everything seems like it's been so stagnant in that sense. And they've got rock, paper, scissors if you're into that. I mean, I think you'd be better off going with the standard route. But it's up to 207 right now. We're still trying to get in on this StatTrak M4A1S, and this is how it works. When the time gets down to just under that 10-second mark, then it will reset when somebody else bids. So if you can win that in the end, the item is yours, and you've saved probably a bunch of money unless you got into like a bidding war or something. You can't currently just straight up buy skins with GG points, but that's in the works. So they have a bunch of new cool stuff coming out, and you can save yourself a bunch of money on skins, which is why I'm sure half of you are here in the first place. We'll be right back.